I never have any good intro to this. So without late, let's try that again. Jesus Christ. I never have a great intro to this. Ever. I've never had a great intro to this.
Okay.
So I always just start with, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ayo Chill podcast. Today I got for you actor extraordinaire, singer extraordinaire. I mean, before we became Mr. Hollywood, we did do like a couple plays together, whatever. Guys, I got Christopher Bailey in the building today. Yo, Chris, welcome to the podcast, man.
I'm amped to be here, man.
Bro, no way I thought in a million years when we were doing high school shows together, right, that we'd end up across the table from each other just doing the podcast.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's wild. We went like what? We did Wizard of Oz back in 2015.
Yeah.
The summer 2015.
Yeah,
so,
something like that, right?
So, we reunited 6 years.
Reunited.
6 years later.
Reunited and it feels so good. Yo,
yeah.
But it's wild, bro. Yo, Chris, tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, sure. So I am Christopher Bailey. I'm from Cedar Grove, New Jersey. I've lived in Cedar Grove my whole life. Let's see. I mean, big thing for me is I have been pursuing since middle school. I didn't realize I wanted to pursue it in middle school, but once I got to high school, I realized I wanted to pursue acting, singing, the arts, stuff like that. And went to school for it. And now I've been auditioning and stuff. That takes up a big, portion of my time trying to improve upon all those skills. I'm a big movie buff. You could catch me buying a ticket for, the movies that are most likely going to be the Oscar noms and whatnot. I'm at the movie theaters a lot. Big video game guy. I love to eat. I love to travel. I like being open, and I like, I was thinking to myself recently, like, I used to be picky as a kid. I feel like a lot of kids are picky as fuck. But, once you mature, I have now sort of dipped my toe in a bunch of different sort of things. And I think that's cool. I want to keep doing that.
Yeah, bro.
Because it's exciting.
Yeah, bro, that's sick, bro. I mean, like, as we get older, we kind of find what we like more. Before, we continue with everything, I also want to say happy Thanksgiving, because this episode will be... Actually, what's funny? I never consider any episode like a special. They kind of just like fall on whatever date they fall on.
Sure, yeah.
But technically, this is our Thanksgiving special right
Cool.
over here. And, a lot of people might be thinking, what I got under this tinfoil. I've never done this before, bro. It seems so corny. But under the tinfoil, I'll Venmo the first person who comments $5 if they could guess what's under here. I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. All right, time's up. All right.
It's just like a full ass turkey.
Bro, I got a giant. I got a giant cookie, and I don't even know what kind of muffin that is, but you're more than welcome to try.
Wait, that cookie looks bomb as hell.
Bro, that cookie was shout out made by Sippin's World's Finest. Sippin's World from Little Falls, right? There's a girl named who works. Her name is Stephanie. She's the best. She's the sweetest girl ever. And then that muffin was made by Little Falls' very own Victoria Pizzi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just I had him on a plate. I had a Thanksgiving dinner. I had a little Friendsgiving or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And those were the leftovers I took.
Also, the cookie looks great, but no disrespect to the muffin. Shit looks banging too. That looks great. What it looks like a snickerdoodle almost.
She told me what it was, but I don't remember. Okay. Sorry, Vic. Much love to you. But yeah, dude, happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Yeah,
I hope you spent your Thanksgiving. What are your Thanksgiving plans?
I actually just found them out today. Everyone kept asking me, and sometimes I just forget what we're doing. But I'm going to grandmother's house.
Word.
Grandfather's house in right in Cedar Grove, actually. Like literally 2 minutes from my house. That's usually the tradition. I feel like we usually go to the grandparents for Thanksgiving.
So speaking about your family, how is your family? Like, do you have any actors in your family, or do you have any like lineage that goes down with this, or are you kind of like the pioneer when it comes to this stuff?
Not many, actually. I have singers and musicians in my family.
That's dope, though. Not a lot of people have that, surprisingly.
My grandfather's hilarious. If you meet him, he will always tell you that I got my talent from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some really cool stories. He was, when he was young, like very young boy in like, I believe like the 30s or 40s. I could be wrong, but I think it's around that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Metropolitan Opera.
No way.
As like a shepherd boy in their production. He would tell me how he would like take the subway as a young kid, and it's very cool. And then it makes me think of the holidays, because every holiday we get this one story without fail. And it's a fun story, but he was performing like some sort of musical review, I think, of some kind, and he was doing it with his partner or whatever, like his scene partner or whatever, and he was singing and whatnot, and the set fell on him and his partner.
Oh shit.
And they were fine, but I think the people in the audience were obviously, somewhat concerned at first, but then they got up and they continued going, and everyone was lit about it. Like they were so excited.
I mean, I would be too, bro.
Yeah.
I would for sure.
And it seemed like a nice example of being put in a weird circumstance, but just like playing it off well. So that's always fun. And we hear that every holiday. And so that's always like a nice little story. And then, so he's a singer, and he still sings at like church and whatnot. And then my uncle is a singer and guitar player too, and I believe is currently playing with like a band that does like a couple shows in New Jersey every once in a while. He's a father as well, so and a teacher. I think those are the only two really musicians / performers that I have in my family besides me. I think I'm the first one that has like actually pursuing a career in this.
And like acting and
yeah.
stuff. So what did your grandpa do besides like, that stuff? Like what was his main gig, or was that his main gig?
I need to find out more about that, because
I don't know what the hell my grandpa did either, bro. Don't worry about it.
I mean, whenever I hear it seems like he talks about it as if it would be. I mean, I sort of just. I've really only heard stories. You know how sometimes you feel like you don't hear stories from your family a little bit, even though like maybe you should have like asked. I find that with myself more recently too. So I will dive deeper into that. But
dive deep into it. You never know.
Yeah,
it's funny. My friend, she her grandpa, I think, has like he has passed on like a while ago, right?
Yeah,
and they were looking in her house. And they were like knocking down some walls, and he had hid a pistol in the wall, and they found it. So
wow!
Now, I mean, they'll probably never find out why he hid a pistol in the wall, but shit, he had the yaddy on deck. Like, you know what I mean? I told her, I was like, yo, your grandpa's gangster, bro. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Anybody, and I think he was a churchman. Maybe he was a churchman. I honestly don't know. I got to figure that out. But I was just like, damn, that's crazy.
He had a piece on
bro, he had the piece on him, bro. He just in case, bro. He just punches through the wall and just grabs it, you know? So I want to get towards the early parts of Chris Bailey's career and stuff.
Okay.
We're not going to get to the part where I know some people are definitely going to be listening to, but let's start off with how'd you get started in acting, and what kind of drew you there? So how old were you when you first kind of just started getting into this?
So I started off singing before I started acting. I started... I don't even know what drew me to it really. I think I was active, I think, in my music class. I was as active as I could be in my music class in like elementary school or whatever. Did the little recorder karate and shit with the belts and whatnot. So like I music I think was always my favorite class, back in the day. Probably that and gym, because gym was easy as shit. And it was just like fun. But I decided to do the talent show, 4th grade, and Mrs. Obendorf, who was my music
What
teacher.
a name.
I know.
What a name. Shout out Miss Obendorf.
Yeah, she's actually, funnily enough, she is my grandparents, the two that I was, or the one grandfather I was just talking about. They have been next door neighbors on the same street.
Oh,
like the
no
whole,
way,
like the whole
bro.
life, or since they've been in Cedar Grove, next door neighbors. So I've known Miss Obendorf since I was like a young baby, basically. And I decided to do it, and I think I was deciding between 2 Lion King songs to sing.
Classic.
And it was between I Just Want to Be King, which was the better option for me, I think, and Be Prepared, the one that Scar sings.
That's a tough one to pull off.
It was just like fun. It was just like I just liked it, and like I always liked Scar as like a kid. Like I just thought he was like a cool villain, I think. But I went with the more upbeat version.
Yeah. How did that go?
It went well. There's probably footage of it somewhere.
On the YouTubes?
Not on YouTube, no. Probably on a cassette or something somewhere. But yeah, that went well, and I'm as far as I can remember, I got some compliments from it, so that made me feel good, made me feel like I can maybe continue to at least do it or whatever.
Did you sing a lot as a kid, or was that your first time singing in front of anybody? Like,
to be honest, like I can't remember. Like there was like, you know how you did in like elementary school, you did like the concerts or whatever that you like had to do. You stood on the bleachers and whatnot.
Yeah, everybody went through that.
Yeah, like I have like, I don't know, the memories are so like a blur now. I feel like these days that like I don't remember exactly, but I feel like that's the earliest memory that I can think of currently that was like me solo by myself singing in front of like, a crowd, a gymnasium filled with people, not a big gym or whatever. But yeah, and then transitioning into middle school, then I feel like I was a little skeptical because I was kind of into soccer as well as a young kid. So I was like, am I going to do the soccer route? I wasn't that good at soccer. I wasn't that good at any sports. Little side note, but like I enjoyed the ones that I played for the most part. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to audition for the show. Like, I don't know this show. I didn't know any shows at that age. I knew like, a couple, but I was like, yeah, I ended up auditioning for it, and then I did them all throughout middle school. And I think a main reason that I stuck with it, honestly, truly, was my teacher, my music director / play director, Miss Jessen.
Miss Jessen. Shout out Miss Jessen.
Yeah, what up? Yeah, no, she's the best. And she just so into it, so passionate for, putting on a good show. And then she mentored me, as well as Miss Misha. Gotta throw a shout to Miss Misha Barboza too. They were like 2 big mentors for me throughout middle school. And then once I got to high school as well, they had my growing passion for it, as well as their mentorship, really laid the foundation for, me wanting to pursue this.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. So you are originally from Cedar Grove?
Yeah.
Word? You lived there your whole life?
Yeah.
That's sick. So what led, so now you have the direction from these 2 people. So what was your first show that you actually did? Because Cedar Grove, I know their high school has a crazy program. I know like they have a really good theater program. Actually, wasn't it Giuliani who came from Cedar Grove? Was that him? The guy from Lion King.
Oh, Jelani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, is that the New York City man? The New York City man. Nah. What's his name?
Jelani Remy.
Jelani Remy.
He's great,
bro. He came from Cedar Grove, right?
Yeah.
Yo, shout out him too, bro. That's crazy to have that.
Yeah.
Like, like that's.
And he does he helps out a lot with I know he helped out with Legally Blonde recently, and he comes, he'll do master classes from here and there. He's
dude,
a really great guy.
He's a stand-up guy, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he even did, I did a master class with him.
That's right. He does. I think he was in contact with like Shu and whatnot.
Yeah. He did. He came through to PV a couple times. Actually, I think it was like, this was like the second time like I was preparing for an audition for musicals, taking it as seriously as a high schooler does. And I think I did You'll Be Back from Hamilton.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And I didn't know how long it was supposed to be, so I practiced the whole song. And it's only supposed to be like 30 seconds, right? Because that's all people have time for. So I just played the whole thing on piano. And he was like, oh, good job. Little long, and I was like, yo, my bad, bro. And you're nervous, so you don't even fucking know, right? But no, he's a really stand-up guy. That's dope as hell. So, like I was saying, what was your first show that you actually did?
Just like in general, like right at the beginning.
Like let's say like musical, right?
Okay.
Or even I don't know. Did you do a straight play first before that?
No, it was all musicals until I didn't do a straight play. I don't think until high school.
Word. So, what was your first musical?
The first one I did, like one of the first serious ones I did that really got me into it was actually Willy Wonka.
Jesus Christ. My seat just fucking leaned back.
Just
go ahead. You said a Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it was Willy Wonka Jr. And I was lucky enough to play the boy with the golden ticket, Charlie Bucket.
Word.
So I got to hop around and be happy little goofy boy.
That's great, bro. You did that like lead? Did that make you fall? Was that the moment that you fell in love with theater, or was there another show that you're just like, damn, this is gonna be my thing from now on?
You see, I don't know if I was thinking in that mindset in middle school yet. I knew I got the lead in a show, which I was like, I don't even know how I did that. I don't think I recognized like any form of talent that I had. Really, I was just like hyped that I got to do it and like got to work with my teacher and whatnot. And yeah, it was just exciting. I don't think it really processed in my head like, oh wow, like this is like I want to do this. I was just like, trying to. It was exciting to do this on the side and then try to like pass my classes.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro. I get it, man.
I think once I got to high school, I started doing some of like some of the some of my favorite musicals that I've ever done. I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
So what was the first musical you went in with, and you're just like, this is lit?
I mean, I think one of them for sure was, and I think PV's done this too, is the Drowsy Chaperone.
Drowsy Chaperone is such a great
such
show.
a banger.
It's such a banger, bro. I think, it's funny. I mean, we'll probably bring her up later, but I had Bree Cielo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had her on a podcast. What was it? Maybe 2 podcasts ago? I forget, because it was 3 podcasts ago, I think.
Okay.
I had her on and we were talking about some of our favorite shows, and I was telling her, bro, Drowsy Chaperone, Adolfo, bro,
oh yeah,
like,
were you in?
I was not. They did it. They did it while I was at school, but I was too much of a pussy to audition. I had no idea how to audition or anything.
Sure.
So I was just like, I don't know. I'm just.
It's scary.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So you were talking about Drowsy Chaperone. So was that the first show that made you like wild about like?
Yeah,
theater?
and I think there was a couple factors that contributed to that.
Like
one being I loved the show just itself. It was just a fun, upbeat, like exciting musical that I had never heard of before. So like when it was announced, and I'm a freshman at this point, so I'm not really expecting anything, but like it was announced and I was like, oh, like I don't know this show at all, like, but I'm gonna audition because I've done all the musicals in middle school. And then, so I love the show. And then another big reason was at that time of like Cedar Grove theater history, I'll say. It sounds so like official when I say it like that. But the people, the upperclassmen that I was surrounded by, like even like juniors, senior level, were like such like good like role models to me. And like not even like they weren't even like, I think like basically all of them weren't like trying to pursue this at all, but like they were such a good group of people that I had such a fun time.
That's so dope
with it.
I wish I felt the same way. I'm not saying anybody's bad, bro. I mean, like, I don't know. None of them follow me on Instagram.
they blocked you or some shit.
I don't know. Maybe they'll see this. Maybe they'll see you and they'll be like, "Oh my god, what the? What is he doing?
Why are they talking to each other?"
That's crazy though. So dope. So what did you play in that? Were you just like a ensemble?
In that one, I played Gangster Number One.
Damn.
Gangster
Number one. That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, it was like, and that was like the perfect like way. That was like the perfect role to start like my high school musical career. Because it was like really fun. It was very like, there was like very physical. It was like a very physical role. There was like certain movements. It was like very vaudevillian.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to dance in that role?
Yeah. And it was, I mean, it was probably somewhat complicated for me at the time, but like looking back, it's like, it wasn't like a super crazy, you know, like it wasn't, you know, West Side Story or something, which is like crazy and whatnot. But yeah, it was just a great show. I got to do it. I played Gangster Number One beside the guy, Gangster Number Two. His name is Adam, and he was like another role model for me as well.
Word. Shout out Adam, bro. Thanks for existing.
Yo, Adam, what's good, bro?
Are you still close to him at all?
Yeah. He actually is funny enough. He used to work at Delmonico.
Oh no, yo, we're gonna get to Delmonico's. Shout out Brad, I love you. We're gonna get to Delmonico's at some point. But yeah, dude. Shit. So, what was your first major role? Like your first lead role? Because I imagine Gangster Number Two isn't lead, right?
No. My first lead role, like in high school, would you say, or just in
like
general, or like what started it, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably. I sort of like worked my way up throughout school. And like, I mean, there was a shortage of guys, and like there was only a certain amount of guys that like actually like really cared kind of. So like I always found myself in a decent position to get a good part, just like if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But the year after, I did Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast, the candlesticks. So I'm like,
hell yeah, bro,
dancing around.
I fuck with Lumiere, bro.
Yeah.
Did you have to do the French accent?
I did, yeah.
Did you do a good French accent?
I think I did an alright one.
Well, I know, because I've kind of stalked you. I always do a little bit of research before I can do any of the podcasts. You are a connoisseur of different accents. I'm not gonna ask you to do any here because I hate when people do that to me, right?
Okay.
But I'm saying, look, so because I know. Let me see here, because I had it here before. Let's see here.
I could if you wanted me to.
So give me like in a Cockney accent. Let's say.
Oi.
Right? Oh shit. Okay. Let's say I don't know. What can we say funny in a Cockney accent? Be like, welcome to Delmonico's. Can I get you a steak?
Welcome to Delmonico. Can I get you a steak?
That's fucking great, dude. Yeah, I wish I could do that shit. You said you could do a New York accent too, right?
Like what the?
Yo, welcome to Coney Island. You see that TikTok that came out?
Yeah, I do. Yo, welcome to Coney Island, bro.
Yo, welcome to Coney Island. We back with this dickhead. Bro, and he was like, what would he say? He was like, what would you tell Joe Byron right now?
Yeah.
He's like, take me out to dinner. He's like, hey, yo. Bro, there's just a funniest
song. Oh, dude, I've been watching a bunch of those recently.
So why don't we go into a little bit. All right, so you played Lumiere, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience with you?
That was fun. So a lot of fun. I got to do like, you know, I think that was like my first time getting like the big like show stopper number in a show.
Oh, word. Yeah, I actually never seen Beauty and the Beast. I saw Beauty and the Beast Jr., right?
Okay. It's probably somewhat similar.
Yeah, it's probably somewhat similar. But Lumiere had a lip part?
Yeah, he has Be Our Guest, if you recall the movie at all. So it's like when he...
I'm terrible.
Oh, no, you're fine, bro. But basically, like, yeah, it's like when... It's like a very huge number with all the, like... all the members of the castle and whatnot. And he's like, you know, introducing Belle to the environment and whatnot. She's getting absolutely like roasted by the Beast, and he's like welcoming her with open arms and like, you know, like be our guest, bro. And a cool but also kind of annoying part, not in a bad way, but we decided to go with prosthetics for some of the characters. So for that part, I had the candlestick arms, which wasn't prosthetic. It was like this cool thing that they made that like blew the flame up and whatnot. But they put a thing on my head that was like the top of the candle, but then they glued like this, like, I don't even know what it was. It was like this weird
wax.
Yeah. It was where they glued it to my face. And it just was like, I don't know. It felt weird. And like on a 2-show day, like there was always like 1 2-show day. So like at the end, there's the transformation. They're not, inanimate objects anymore. They're human again. And so like on a 2-show day, they would like rub it off my face really quick, peel it off. I'd come out, I'd be human. And then like we'd, show would end. And then we would wait, an hour or 2. And then I'd have to get it back on my face. And I just like broke out and stuff. It was like nasty.
Yeah, bro. I mean, high school's tough, bro. Puberty and shit.
Yeah,
know?
Exactly.
That's wild.
But still a very fun experience nonetheless. And then I mean, do you want me to just go up the?
Yeah, right now, bro. I mean, I'm waiting till we hit like what was that? Your junior, my sophomore year.
Yeah.
I think. So you did Lumiere. So no, you said freshman year, Drowsy Shap. Sophomore year, what is that? Lumiere. Yeah. So junior year. I mean, yeah, we're here, right?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Damn. This is what the people came for. I mean, by people, I mean just the
my rise.
Your rise to Hollywood right now, bro.
But then junior year was Donkey in Shrek.
You were Donkey?
I was.
Dude, Donkey's like my second favorite part. Like right behind what the hell's his name? Adolfo, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's sick, bro. How was that?
It was fun. It was very like, had to be high energy. Yeah. It was fun. And he's got like, some of the classic lines from the movies or in the musical. It was fun. And I think the whole cast in that show was really, really good. And it's fun. There's some slappers in that show, music wise.
Hell yeah, bro. Shrek the Musical is not like, I don't think there's enough love for it. And when it used to be on Netflix, bro, I used to watch it
a decent amount too. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. That shit was great, bro. Actually, I remember somebody actually from our Ozcast who actually streams now. Shout out Frankie Perez. Bro. Frankie's my fucking
I haven't seen
boy.
Frankie in a minute.
Bro, I told him we were going to hit him up, but I just got busy, dude.
That's fine.
Bro, let's do like next week.
We should still do it, though.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
We're just making plans.
Yeah, bro, we're making plans. I mean, we got to now. When we post this up. Yeah. Yo, Frankie's my boy, bro. He went to Montclair. I think he studied communications. Shout out to him, bro, because it's funny. I guess we're here. I'll first introduce Frankie. Frankie. He was from our Ozcast, and me and him were good friends. Kept in touch like after like the show and everything. And he now I don't know exactly what I think he does like radio, and then I know he streams his own on Twitch and stuff. He streams some games, and he played Shrek. Shrek the Musical like one year. I think it was during the summer. I went to go see him. Oh, cool. And actually what's great is that him and his current girl, he played Shrek and his current girl played Fiona.
Oh, cool.
And that was sick, bro, because the chemistry between them, that's just fire. That's just fire, bro. And the donkey in that show, oh my God, bro, he was hilarious.
That's awesome.
I love that show, bro. That's crazy. So you did Shrek, and now that was your junior year, right? So junior year summer, right? Junior summer. That's Oz, right?
Or that was after senior year for me. Yeah, that was me going into college.
All right, bet. So what was your senior year's show before Oz?
At PV?
Well, at Cedar.
Oh, at Cedar Grove? That was Urinetown.
Urinetown. See, I've never watched Urinetown. Is that
Urinetown is a great show. It was actually it was my favorite one that I did my entire 4 years.
Yeah, what's it about?
So basically, it's very like satirical and whatnot. But it's and it has a lot of like it alludes to a lot of like the current climate and like what's going on today. Sort of like you can find a lot of parallels. But the main story is about like basically what you would do, what a community would have to do if they had to pay to pee. and then like a revolution arises, and there's the the rebels who want to abolish those rules, but then there's like the higher ups who are trying to keep those rules in place.
Word. That's funny. It's crazy. The only attachment I have to Urinetown, I mean, because I used to be like more of like a theater head back in high school.
Okay.
I still love and appreciate it now. But check this crazy story. I had a teacher in high school. His name was Mr. Howard. Rest in peace, by the way. He actually passed away recently.
Oh, damn.
So bless his family, bless his soul. But he was a crazy teacher. And I used to be dumb as hell, and I couldn't pass any of my science classes. So for like the people who couldn't fucking function in high school in science, they would be sent to the resource classes.
Okay.
But they didn't call it resource anymore because they didn't want the kids to feel dumb. So they called it like a different name, right? They'd call it like environmental science or something like that, right? So me and all these misfits like used to just take this class, right? And Mr. Howard taught the class. And Mr. Howard was like a Vietnam vet. And he was a hard ass, bro. He was a hard ass. He was a shorter man, faux beard, like gray and brown in it, dude. Big glasses, dude. Like he was just a man, bro. He was just a dude, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember he never really smiled a lot. I would joke around with him a lot because I thought it was hilarious, like just to kind of like mess with him a little bit, and he would enjoy it, right? Like a lot of times I'd be like, "Hey, yo, Mr. Howard," and in the most monotone voice, it'd be like, "Luis," right? And I never forget, he would come up to me and he'd be like, "Luis, you're an actor, right?" And I was like, "Man, I did a couple of shows or whatever. I did a 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, played Mitch Mahoney.
No big deal.
No big deal, bro.
Yeah.
No big deal. Some people know me." And then he was like, "Wow, there's a musical. I want you to watch it. It's called Urinetown." And he'd always laugh because of the word urine. He'd be like,
It's classic.
and I'll just be like awkwardly sitting there like, "Dude, I'm stupid at science. I shouldn't be like, I don't even want to listen to this right now." But yeah, that's basically my attachment to Urinetown. But that's sick that you did that, right?
Yeah.
So your senior year, and how was that being senior year? You said you looked to a lot of the seniors and stuff. So how did you kind of like feel that way towards the freshmen like coming in? Like you're kind of like their mentor as well?
Yeah, I would say so. I felt some of my best friends were in like the grade below me, so I guess that's not like exactly the same. But yeah, from what I remember, I don't know if there was that same bond, just because like
It's always weird when you get older, right? Like
Yeah.
You're kind of looking down and you're like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah, because like at the same time, like these seniors were my mentors, but like they were also like they're older than me at that
Yeah.
point. Like they're doing their own thing.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
like up their ass. I wasn't like up their ass and stuff, even though like I probably wanted to be because I thought they were like cool as hell.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we've all been in that place where
Yeah.
you see someone just older, they're doing their thing, and they're like, it's a certain, I don't know, there's like a threshold of maturity you reach.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember my senior year, like, I think there were some freshman kids who were just like, "Yo, what you do is so cool." And I'm like, "Bro, I ain't shit." I literally ain't shit. I just smoke weed and go to school.
Yeah.
Good times in high school, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, let's get to it. Let's get to the cake, bro. I want to talk about this shit, bro. I want to talk about this shit. After senior year, what you do during the summer?
During the summer,
What was your last high school show ever?
my magnum opus.
Your magnum opus. I love it. I love it.
So after senior year, I had the privilege
The absolute
I had
privilege.
the absolute privilege of coming back to PV Summer Theater for my third year, which was exciting.
Bang.
To do the one, the only Wizard of Oz,
Wizard
a classic
Classic.
in the musical theater canon.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. My first summer show ever.
That's it. You did that in Footloose, right?
I did that in Footloose. Yeah,
Cool.
those are the two shows.
Wizard of Oz is a good one to start with.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, I was the most Latino.
And you were playing the titular role.
I was playing Oz, so I was Oz, the most Latino Oz you've ever seen in your life. I don't know how they picked me to be Oz, but I was. I did my thing.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a little Hollywood over
shucks.
here. A little Hollywood over here. What role did you play?
I played the Scarecrow. I had no brain.
Yeah, no
and I still
brain,
don't.
bro. I'll never forget how you walked because you were like so into character all the time, and I'd be like, "Yo, this motherfucker might be made of straw. I don't even know. I was watching sometimes from the side, and it's like, damn, bro, he's kind of doing his thing, bro. So, Wizard of Oz, bro, what a crazy. I can't do this. I can't do this.
End the show.
I don't even know. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about this. I don't know. We kind of discussed it at Delmonico's a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a little here there. So Wizard of Oz, it's weird. I actually talked to Brie about this, and I'm like, why are theater kids so different?
Theater kids are so different.
I think like when you every movie that has ever like dramatized theater kids like being weird or like super sexual, all this stuff.
Weren't joking.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's 100%
Yeah.
right. This is my first time. See, you gotta understand. For me, I grew up with a different crowd. And luckily, I was lucky enough to grow up with a lot of like some immigrants, like some ghetto kids, and then at my high school, I got like a whole different taste once I started getting into music, and especially when I got into theater, it was very different because theater, out of anything I've done in my life, has been the most accepting group of people I've ever been involved with. Like being a part, I've been a part of some shitty, now I wouldn't say shitty, even the most shittiest theater groups I've ever been in or shows I've ever been in has still been more accepting than my shittiest experiences with band or like just being with different people, right?
Yeah.
And getting into Oz, this was like the first time like I ever got with some people and it was just like, everybody here is pretty cool. Everybody here is pretty cool. And I think it was the first time that that PV, I actually don't know if it was the first time. I don't know PV's like whole, discography of shows.
Sure.
But like they had a junior show.
Yeah.
And they had like a not adult show, but like
the main stage.
Yeah, the main stage, like high school kids, right? And this was kind of mixed because the kids like played like the Munchkins and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then like, we did the older part, right? And shit. I don't know if I should drop some names. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna refrain away from dropping names.
Sure, just in I will as well. Yeah,
just in case, like But y'all know what we're talking about.
In case they come for us.
Yeah. Because I mean, like everybody in the shows, I mean, like was pretty chill. I mean, like I played Oz, you played a Shaw Man. There was, I guess we'll refer. Okay, the one person we already name dropped, Frankie, right?
Yeah,
Frankie played the lion.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love
fire.
He was fire, bro. He was fire.
Yeah, he was excellent.
But you know what? One of the things I remember from the show most is we did a little meet and greet, right? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, do you remember that meet and greet?
That was like right outside the.
It was like in the senior cafeteria of my high school. That's where it was at. You probably wouldn't know that.
I don't know if I'm not sure I was at that.
Oh, you don't know if you went to, bro? They did a little meet and greet for like kids who wanted to like meet the wizard and like meet everybody else, right? And I'll never forget it. We went there and it was a little bit awkward because only like 6 kids showed up.
Yeah.
But bro, I put my heart into that. I was like, welcome, children. we were coloring like pages with them, right? With crayons and stuff. Sweet. And they were asking, they're like, are you really from Oz? And I just want to be like, no, bitch. But like, I've been like, of course I am. Can't you tell the Wizard of Oz can be Latino? Hispanic, whatever you want to call it. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like if I played Santa, which I actually did too. You know what's funny? I actually did a couple theater things myself. So I did 25th annual Putnam County, right? I did.
It's a great show.
Thank you. I played Mitch Mahoney because I mean, like, what else would I play? You know what I mean? You got to put the Latino in the freaking just came out of jail role. Obviously, I don't know what else you're gonna do. Cancel me. But I played that. I played Oz, which was crazy. And I think after that, I played Santa in Elf Jr.
Oh, that's fun.
Which was cool. And then I played the Reverend in Footloose.
Okay, nice.
The only show I really wanted to dance in.
And that's like the one role that you like.
One role I couldn't.
The guy that hates dance.
So, sorry, I'm kind of just stalling this whole like Oz thing because I feel like there's so much things to talk about, but not like crazy.
No, I mean.
But I'll tell you what. That was the first time I ever did like a theater show.
Sure.
And like, you know how I was saying like how all the other TV shows like dramatize like theater kids? Like that whole show felt like a movie. Like as in like the things outside of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we like again, I'm used to like going out in the streets and chilling with your friends, right? We never had a house to chill in.
No.
Right? When I was growing up, like we never had like we'd be chilling like in the woods or something.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like getting in trouble out there or whatever.
Yeah.
This was the first time where like I got hit up and then they're like, "Yo, we're throwing a little party.
Yeah.
Come through, bro." Right? And I was just like, and I had to tell my dad, I was like, "Yo, dad." And my dad's like, old school Hispanic, right?
Sure.
So he don't fuck around with me sleeping anywhere but home, right?
Yeah.
To this day, bro. I'm 23 years old, and he'll call me at like wherever time. He's like, "Yo, you coming home?" I'll be like, "Man, shit, bro. I'm in deep in something, bro. Relax, bro."
I'm working on something.
I'm working on something right now. Dad, chill. And he's like, all right. I'll give you 2 more hours. I'm like, damn, bro, fuck, I pay rent. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck out of here, bro. Anyway, that was the first time we threw like a party, right? And I remember when we threw that party, I mean, like, we don't have to discuss what happened at the party, but we were obviously drinking. We have a good time, right?
No, I mean, we weren't drinking. It was,
We were drinking, like,
nah. I still haven't drank anything.
But yeah, bro, that shit was a crazy time, and just like the bond that we made with that group of people. We remember we looked at the group me.
Oh yeah, that was
group
funny.
Me still exists, bro. And when we were looking through some of those pictures,
there's some treasures.
There's some cringe. There is some major cringe in that, bro.
It's mostly cringe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, videos, pictures. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were active as hell in that group chat.
We were.
Scrolling through like the gallery. Mm-hmm. It was like, it was nice though, because I feel like a decent amount of the cast that I've been a part of have gotten really close and like gone out. And
so have you felt that way about like how many shows have you felt that way about the cast? Because like that Wizard of Oz group that we had that first time, like I genuinely loved everybody in that group. And I mean, till this day, like I mean, there's some people I haven't talked to literally since like curtain closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like 1 or 2. I think for the most part, I kind of keep up with everybody. Actually, it's funny enough. I will name drop one name. I ran into Abby.
Abby. Yeah.
I ran into Abby. I don't even know I think she just played one of the Munchkins, or I forget honestly what she played.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she played, and it's funny, we got so much older and we reconnected when we were older, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny, there's a bar near here in Wayne. It's called Mother's.
Oh yeah, I've heard you guys talk about it.
I'm dancing on the dance floor. I'm like, I'm chilling, and then I look across the crowd. I'm like, no way. And I see this girl. She blonde and she dancing. I'm like, no way, that's Abby. Because it's crazy. I saw her when she was like mad young. Like it was my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And shit, it's been like 5 years, right? So I see her. I'm like, no way. So I walk up to her. She probably thought I was some creep, bro. Because literally, I haven't talked to her since. Like, I nothing, bro. Like, I haven't said dick to this girl, right? So I walk up to her. I'm like, yo, Abby. And all of her friends, I think it looked like a girl's night or whatever, right?
Sure.
So all of them are just looking at me like,
yo, get lost,
right,
bro.
Like, get lost, buddy. You ain't getting this. I'm like, I'm not trying to, bro. Yo, we were wizard. Like they wouldn't understand. They couldn't hear because it was it was too much fucking music, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, bro, I saw her and it was crazy. But I don't know. There's just something about like being a part of like. There's sometimes a group just clicks.
Yeah.
And I felt like in this situation with that cast, like it was the first thing that really made me be like, wow, theater's a fucking beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Regardless, because I think it just stays in your memory. Like, it's so sad. I think about it when that last curtain closes. And and even like Oz for me was very emotional, like saying curtain close to that shit.
Yeah.
Because like we were with all these people, we were chill, and we try to stay chill for a bit after, but it's hard. Life just moves on,
I went to college and stuff.
You move on to bigger and better things, and especially if you're an actor, musician, doing any of that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you just grow apart sometimes, and only certain people, like when the universe decides it's time for people to come back and shit, it happens. And
exactly.
I think this podcast is kind of a testament to that,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's just wild.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So how do you feel? Like how many? I don't know how special Oz was for you, because you've been a part of a lot of shows.
Yeah,
right?
no, Oz was very special for a couple reasons. I think. I agree with it that the cast. I mean, because we were like always like we were throwing parties for each other and going out to eat and stuff and like all this stuff, like a bunch. But I mean, it was also a big deal because this was like my last show like at home probably for a little bit. And at Hartford, where I went to school, Hart School of Music, Dance and Theater, where I went to school, you can't perform on a main stage show until you're a junior. So I was potentially gonna go 2 more years, 2 years without being in a show. It's sophomore year, you get to perform, but it's like these very like minimal like projects, they would call them. It's like they're not actual shows. Like you do like a bunch of scene work for like the school, but it's not for, you know, for a true audience that's going to come into like an auditorium space and watch. Yeah. It's just for the, you know, the people that attend the university or the Hart School Conservatory. But yeah, no, Oz was really awesome. I feel like most of the cast that I was in, like in high school especially too, got very close. I had some of my I made some of my best friends within that program. We were always like going out and hanging out and whatnot, you know, doing dumb high school shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, trust me, asterisk on that freaking dumb high school shit. But, but let me tell you, bro. Yeah, I mean, like, it was wild. I actually never have been a part like of another theater group since that Ozcast, which is kind of sad, but kind of endearing at the same time. Just to kind of remember it, you know, and be like, that was so dope. And I think it was special a lot to me because there was a lot of people that I didn't know. Yeah. And I never knew you could build such a bond with people you have never met before and then miss people so much after it's all done. Like,
it's like just over the course of a couple weeks.
Yeah, bro.
Too.
I didn't give shit about anybody in high school, bro. Like, and especially when I left, like, I was like, yo, half of y'all could eat dick. Like, I really don't care, right? I really don't
Deuces.
care. Deuces. Like, I'm out, right? And even now, that's kind of how I feel about, like, you know, people who are just, like, you know, in and out, you know? If you unfollow me off of Instagram, I'm like, all right, bro, jerk me. Like, what the fuck you want to do, bro? Like, go live your life. Like, I have no hate. I have no animosity towards anybody, bro. It's just how life is.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, there's just something too about just singing with people. Oh my God. And having like duet numbers too with somebody. There's just like, you know, me and Bree had a couple duet numbers. And it's funny. We're talking about, cause I mean, like, me and Bree have acted. I think she's been part of almost every single show. Actually, Bree has been a part of every single show I've ever been in.
Hell yeah.
Which is wild.
She's awesome. So
No,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, she's definitely great. And I actually just kind of, I can't believe I didn't say that on our podcast. Yeah, any theater show that I've ever been in besides preschool where I played Jesus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I played
the starring role.
Yeah, I went to used to go to this nun school in Patterson. Okay. And it was right next to JFK, and they were doing like a little, like it was a religious nun school, daycare, whatever the hell, right? I have really good memory. I don't know how I remember this shit, but I remember like the kid who was playing Jesus just like ate shit. Like, I don't know what the hell happened to him, but like he was just like, I'm not playing Jesus, right? And then they're like, damn. They're like, is there anybody else who can play Jesus? And I was just like, yeah. Like, I was like, let's go.
You like wipe the dirt off your
Hell yeah, bro. I'm like, damn, my time to fucking shine. And I don't even remember like how it was, but apparently it was good. I remember my mom would always tell me, she's like, yo, you went up there and you did your thing. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I think it was like the Bethlehem scene or whatever. Like, I don't know if I came out of some pussy or something.
Pivotal scene.
Pivotal scene, dude. But yeah, dude. So I also want to talk about, so now we're getting kind of towards, okay, so you went to Hartford, right? Yeah. I've actually been there a couple times when I was in college, dude.
Yeah, we talked about Phi Mu Alpha, right? That you were a part of that, yeah.
Hail Symphonia, bro. Hail Symphonia. So yeah, super frat bro over here and shit.
Yo.
Bro, Hartford's lit, dude. Hartford's definitely lit.
Yeah, it's fun.
Can I actually ask you something crazy?
Yeah, sure.
I heard like some rumors about Hartford.
Okay.
And I was never crazy sure if they were true or not.
Okay.
But I heard there were like all nude parties at Hartford. I don't know where I heard
all
it from.
Nude parties.
All nude parties. And
like theater parties or just?
Yeah, like theater parties.
No, I mean, there wasn't all nude.
It wasn't all.
No, people literally just show up with their tits.
I have no idea, bro. Like, I heard some crazy shit about like the program over there.
Well, I don't know. I feel like theater programs across the nation are just could be absolutely insane. There was never nude parties, but there was like whenever like, you know, like they would always send out like this big like, they would make a page for the party. If it was like a theme party, it'd be like Halloween or a big one at Hartford. Halloweeners, exactly. But big ones at Hart were Froshmosh.
What's that?
Which was it was basically like the big party at the beginning of the year where we sort of like welcome the freshmen and like sort of like
mosh them.
Yeah, we just like throw in a circle and bully the shit. No.
Damn.
No, it's like, we're welcoming them, but like everyone's, like going off, getting shit faced.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, there's what else was there to do in college, bro? Like when you had free time, like I never realized it like so much, but like when you're in college, like I want to say life is easy, but it's not. But the only reason I say life is easy is because the only place I could remember in life where I could get absolutely fucked, and just not care about it the next morning, be like, oh shit, I gotta go to class. Like now it's like I gotta go to work. So
yeah.
I can't be fucked at work.
It's a bit higher. Yeah,
I can't show up I could show up high to class. I can't show up high to work. As long I don't think I can. I haven't.
You could try.
Yeah. But yeah, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So college too. So you had played. So actually, no. We talked a lot about musical theater, but you're not a musical theater person. All right. So dope. So how did you kind of transition? How did you go out from musical theater now into just the acting part?
The transition. So yeah. Well, I started off as a musical theater major at Hart. I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, I think so, right?
I started off as that, and program's great. I enjoyed my time a part of that curriculum. I got through my entire freshman year, felt there was progress being made with my voice and, sort of the style of acting that comes with that you need to sort of tackle within, the musical theater parameters. Once I got to sophomore year is when we started doing those project things that I talked about, and that the first semester is all straight acting. There's no musical theater projects that you do. The musical theater kids will do musical theater projects the second semester.
Word.
So we do these straight acting projects sophomore year, and I'm like really enjoying it. And like I'm at no point during the semester. Honestly, at that point, I thought to myself, like, I still like the musical theater curriculum. And at the same time, I was like, there's no way I could like switch and it didn't even really dawn on me. I was like, I'm not going to switch. Like, why, people are going to think I'm a failure if I switch from the musical theater to the, so that was probably someone in the back of my head too. But I got to the end of the semester and we had auditioned for the musical theater projects at the end of that semester because we were about to go in. But before we even got to that next semester, the very end of that first semester sophomore year, the main faculty sat me down and they were like, we don't want you to take this the wrong way, but we've liked what you've done, with the straight acting. You've done like some really nice scene work, and we think you should switch to the acting program. And so my initial reaction was to like not be upset, but to be like, oh wow, they think I like suck at singing.
Which is very wrong. I mean, you're a good singer, dude.
Oh, thank you.
I fuck with your voice. Like, I'll never forget. Sorry, I'll interrupt your story real quick.
You're fine.
This is the last memory I've ever had from Oz. The last memory I ever had. It's the last time I'll talk about Oz. Never forget. We're at this girl's house, right? And I could drop John's name, right? He don't care. Love you, John, by the way. Miss you, bud.
What up, Carp?
Yeah, bro. We should definitely. Not even Carp. The other John.
I thought we were at John. I'm thinking we were at John Carp's house, but John Frio, of course. One of my best friends.
Yeah, bro. My boy, bro. I remember you and him. Was it you and him? I think it was you and him. Y'all brought your guitars or something, right?
I didn't have a guitar.
We were at this girl's back porch or something. And you guys sang, I think I told you this before.
Yeah.
You sang a song by Drake Bell.
Drake.
I think it was that. Yeah. Yo, hold on, man. Yo, damn. I'm gonna cast it like 3 times on this freaking podcast. You sing a song by him, right?
No, it was Drake Bell.
During the time, it was like before,
It was before all of the,
the scandals. Yeah, right. So, but yeah, I'll never forget. You sang that song, bro, and your voice the whole time I was like, damn. I was like,
Thanks,
and bro, it's not for nothing, bro. But the girls there were like, ooh, and gnawing over you, bro. Like you were just like, I forgot how the song goes. I think the word lights in there.
It was. I think it was most likely Hollywood Girl, the one that they do in the Hollywood special.
Probably.
It's like "Oh, it never happened to me."
Yeah.
Afterwards,
Bro, I'll
yeah.
never forget it, bro. You're just doing that, and everybody's like, oh my god, Chris Bailey. Even me, bro. I'm like, I'm not even gay like that, but like, shit, you have me.
Are we about to kiss?
Bro, yeah, maybe. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Let's act it out, bro.
It's early.
Let's method act it.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck was you're talking about Hartford? You were talking about they were telling you.
Yeah.
Your first reaction was like, hey, damn, like I suck at singing. Right?
Yeah. Like, you know, I thought I had made progress. And I think I did, but at the same time, they were like, you know, obviously the choice was still mine. I could totally have told them like, hey, you know, I want to stay in the musical theater program. Mm-hmm. But they're like, think about it. And I was like, okay. And then I'm pretty sure I called my mom immediately and they said this. And honestly, I started to think like, you know, maybe the AT program, the actor training program is maybe more my speed. And like, I don't think it took me long to deliberate that. And then like, I mean, the transition into being with the actor trainers is like 12 other people. Mm-hmm. It was never weird because I was already friends with all of them, but like I sort of felt not awkward, but I felt like I was sort of imposing a little bit. Like I didn't want, like I was another guy entering a class that already had like 7 guys, and like I didn't want there to be any like, you know, like oh here's another guy, like there's gonna be like all this competition and stuff like that. But like they're like literally like some of my best friends on earth.
That's dope, bro. That's super dope.
And also the AT program has like some amazing perks. Like we got to go to London to do a Shakespeare intensive.
Oh, that's super dope, bro.
Yeah, it was like 8 weeks. 8 weeks in London just doing Shakespeare, and then we got to do this really cool production of Christmas Carol.
How was learning the Shakespeare like dialogue? Because it's a lot, right?
Oh yeah, it's hard and complicated, and there's like the iambic pentameter. So there's like
How thick was your book for that? Was it pretty thick?
We didn't have we were recommended books and whatnot before we went. I bought like Shakespeare's like first folio, which is like a giant book with I think all of his plays or the majority of his plays. And I had some experience with Shakespeare before I went on the trip. I think I did one of his comedies, Love's Labour's Lost, the summer before we went to London. So I was at least somewhat familiar with the language. But then there's verse and prose. Verse is a bit more structured and prose is a bit more sort of free and, not as, formulaic, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. I could be just speaking out of my ass. But, I mean, learning Shakespeare, in the motherland of Shakespeare was really sick. It was it was funny. This doesn't really have anything to do with learning the Shakespeare, but it does have to do with that trip. Me and my girlfriend at that time got to London late because we had a horrible night at the airport one night, and that's a long story, so I'll just spare that, and I'll end up going on down several avenues, but basically couldn't get there on time. So we had to wait a couple days to get on another flight, and we hop on a flight and we miss like the first 2 days of class, or like the first day of class. We would be showing up on the second, where they're just doing like all the preliminary stuff. They hand out this big packet. They're going over like verse, prose, like different Shakespeare plays, like, emphasis on certain things, whatever. And we show up, we get on a red-eye flight, and we get there. The time difference is 5 hours ahead in London. So we show up, and we lug our luggage all the way up to the school from the tube station. Tube is so dope, by the way. But we get there, and we're like dead ass tired. And we walk into the room, and like our friends are all there, so they're like clapping for us, and the London kids are like, what the fuck is going on? Who are these idiots? And it was just funny because I sit down, and my friend Aubrey just like hands me a sheet. I don't know if it was like if it was theirs or like, I don't know, but they handed me a sheet and I was just like, they just threw me into it sort of. So I got up and I was like dead tired, just like reading this like Shakespeare. I like butchered it probably because it wasn't the best first impression on like the students and the faculty of that school. It was just funny.
Bro, that's so fucked, bro. I can't imagine even getting into that. How do you even go into memorizing like and getting good at it? Because now, you're moving away from musical theater. I've only done one straight play in my life. It was The Odd Couple by Neil Simon, right? That was cool. I think acting is super cool.
Yeah.
One of the things too is just like once you get into that, it's just like you're that's all you. You know what I mean? I could hide behind the facade of music. I could hide my acting skills with like being a really good musician, right?
Sure.
I wouldn't consider myself the best actor. I wouldn't consider myself an actor at all. Actually, because like what you guys do is literally insane. When you get a pamphlet just to memorize, like how do you go into that?
So like just like a script or anything.
A script, like anything, bro. Because I mean, like it's a lot. Like I
Yeah.
remember in high school, I feel really bad. I said this on Breeze Cast too, but I literally waited till last minute every fucking time to memorize shit. Like I was just like, I'll get it. Like, and if I don't, I'll just make some shit up. You know?
I would the main way that I would do it, I would normally just sit down with, there would always be like a first read through and stuff. And then you sort of memorize the lines too, like as you're rehearsing it as well. But I would always, at least now, especially with all like the self tapes and stuff that I do for auditions, because it's mostly like filming a tape, sending it to a casting director. I try to be off book for it just because it helps, it's with your face, just like buried in the script. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really lend itself to helping you like make like choices or anything with the dialogue and the character, how the character moves and stuff. It's sort of a crutch a little bit. So I try to get it out of the way as soon as possible. But in regards to how I like get it out of my hand, it's mostly just like I'll take a scene or a couple pages and I'll just like whatever scene we're maybe planning on working that week. I'll tackle that first and it's mostly repetitive things. I'll maybe read with a partner, but most of the time I feel like I just will do it by myself and I'll read the other person's lines and then I'll just sort of go through it over and over again until I feel comfortable with it.
Honestly, it sounds like you're a natural more than anything, bro. Because I know for me, like, I don't think I'm dyslexic, but I think when it comes to memorizing lines, it's kind of a little bit there. You know what I mean? I would love to get into acting again, though.
Yeah,
for sure. But more than getting into an act, like I don't know. Hopefully, before I die, I hope I get into another musical, or even I'd even settle for a straight play, dude. Not that there's anything wrong with straight plays. Yeah, I just know I'll probably not be as good as it. But you never know.
Yeah.
Something that has always been like super dope in my eyes and what people could do and really talented it. And like my only real experience doing anything with that was like 25th annual, right?
Yeah.
Was improv, right? So let's talk about your improv background, bro. I think you said you were like in an improv troupe in college, right?
I was.
How was that? How like what is improv?
Improv is, there's several like, sort of, I haven't taken classes really or not, but from what I understand improv to be, it's just, doing scenes and games and, any sort of theatrical thing where everything is just made up and there's always different circumstances and parameters. Sometimes you get those from the audience. And it's just always off the cuff, top of the dome sort of, word vomit sometimes, most of the time at least, I think. At least that's what I end up doing, I feel like.
So what was your improv experience like with this troupe? Like what would you guys do?
So the improv troupe is called Stop Laughing Mom.
Okay. Stop Laughing Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, word.
SLM. And we would Sorry, what was the question again?
What was it like? What did you guys do?
Okay, yeah. So we would rehearse every Wednesday, if I recall that correctly, and we would just we'd have a show in it was called Wild Auditorium. It was a bit of a smaller, more intimate space. Mm-hmm. I'm coughing like a motherfucker.
You're good, bro. Drink any water. We're chilling.
But whatchamacallit? Yeah, we would perform in Wild Auditorium every month, a small space, and every Wednesday we would practice the games. Sometimes we would just fuck around, play some new games, but most of the time we would practice games that we wanted to do in the show. Mm-hmm. So we would warm up normally with a couple warm-up things where it's like, Zip Zap Zop?
I do not.
Okay, so I feel like I've done that with a lot of theater people too, but it's just like a silly, like you point at someone, say zip, they point at someone else, they say zap, they point at someone, say zop, and then it just gets like, it sort of morphs into like this silly, like physical nonsense. Mm-hmm. But then we would do another warm-up game where we would I think there was like 10 people in the improv troupe at one point, and we would like line up in lines of 5. And like the 2 people at the front would meet each other, and it'd be like a 3-line scene. You just sort of had to you would sort of have to make a coherent scene in just 3 lines, and then end it, and then go to the back of the line. And so yeah, and then we played like a bunch of fun games. There was like one game that was always like a popular one called Park Bench, where it was like 2 people start on the bench and a third person enters, and they sort of set the circumstance of the scene. Mm-hmm. And then the person at the end of the bench would have to find a reason to leave that actually made sense, so that the next person could join in.
Yeah, dude, I think it's dope. I actually I always watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like actually my theater teacher got it me into it. Shout out Miss A. She was so great. Like she always showed videos from that stuff, and I thought improv is so great. I wouldn't consider myself a rapper, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider myself a rapper at all, but I do like freestyling in the car, and I think you've been a part of like freestyling in the car, definitely before, bro. Yeah. Sometimes it goes hard, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. I imagine that's kind of like what improv is, right?
Oh yeah,
like sometimes it go hard, sometimes it doesn't.
No,
right?
100%. Like there's some times where it's like you're in a groove, and like a lot of times people say it's like they understand like the game of the situation. Like there's people. Like really talented improvers can like understand like what's happening within the scene, and then they could sort of lead it down avenues that people will like really enjoy. And sometimes you find that, but then there's other times where it's like, yeah, it's funny, and like you can tell they're having a good time, but it's not like, it's just like the nature of it. Sometimes it's a hit, and sometimes it's, not as funny.
So explain to the people who are listening what we're about to do right now, because
sure,
I just need to be reminded, because I haven't performed like this in a minute. So
sure.
What are we doing right now?
I also just precursor. This is like my first time back in improv in like a fat minute.
We're Gucci, bro. We're gonna kill this.
It'll be fun. It'll be
fun.
So basically, we're gonna play a little game. It's called Mork and Mindy. And Luis, it's a 2-person scene. Luis is going to be reading every other line from an actual play. And then I will just be responding to him, even if it's like totally outlandish and weird, no matter what he says to me, because it's not really going to make sense, but I have to make it make sense, sort of.
So does it matter if I switch characters or just like every other line?
No, it's just every other line. It doesn't matter what character it is. It's
shit. This is great. All right, cool.
It's just like super random. And I figured since it's Thanksgiving, we could do like it could be like we're at Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe.
Oh God, this is great. Okay, cool. So we're at Thanksgiving. Okay, that's great. My first line is fucking amazing. All right, set the scene. We're at Thanksgiving dinner. It's me, you, I don't know, the fam.
Yeah, right? And we're maybe I just rolled up to grandma's.
You just rolled up to grandma's?
Yeah.
Can I fuck with any of these lines, or do I just read them off?
I try to stick to the script, but I don't. I mean, I won't know if you fuck with the lines.
You're chilling. All right.
So, and
This is gonna be fucking. I don't even give a shit if this is the worst thing ever,
okay.
bro. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. All right, ready?
Okay.
I'll start it off.
Okay, sure.
Oh, God, that smells good. What are we having?
Oh, I brought this is I don't want to brag, but my famous cranberry sauce. I know you love it, Grandma, so I figured I'd bring it over. Like I do every year.
Did Maddie Faye bring her green bean casserole?
She did actually. It's it's good stuff.
No, it's good that you did. Hers is inedible.
Oh, Maddie Faye's isn't good this year. I mean, I figured I typically make a better green bean casserole too.
That's terrific.
Oh, but thank you.
We said 2 words to each other?
I feel like we've said a couple more than 2 words, Grandma.
He seemed very nice, sweetheart.
Oh, my boyfriend? Yeah, he's great.
But what I think about him doesn't matter. I'm not marrying him.
Yeah, Grandma. I would love it if you didn't marry my boyfriend.
Yeah, when is it again?
What? Thanksgiving's today.
Is it in Sarasota?
Yeah, no, it is. That's where we are.
Wait, yes, I did know that.
Yeah, of course. You're smart, Grandma.
I guess what I'm telling you is that I'm finally happy. I've been really unhappy for most of my life, my adult life. I doubt you've been aware of that. I know our lives have led us apart. You, me, Ivy, and maybe we're not as close as some families.
Grandma, let me stop you right there, okay? I don't know where this is coming from, but you are without a doubt the best and my most favorite grandma that I have. The other one's a complete bitch, I'm just good, and that's why she's not here. And I just don't want you to think that way. That you're such a sweet woman, and we're gonna have a great Thanksgiving. And I just want you to, I want you to cleanse yourself of all those nasty thoughts.
Yes. Okay, yes. Christ.
Okay.
Where are they with the wine already?
Oh, I think they just ran to the liquor store.
I think scene, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think scene. That was fucking. I don't know how the fuck we got there, bro. That was lit. You know what the problem is? I totally forgot in the beginning. I thought you said grandma was here, not that I was grandma. And I was like, oh shit, we're back in the grandma, right?
Yeah, I sort of just made you the grandmother.
Yeah, that got emotional at the end, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what the fuck is going on in this shit, bro. How did they go from like what are we bringing to dinner to like you don't know I was fucking depressed my whole life?
Yeah, no, they did that show at my school. Mm-hmm. Did you say they did that at your school too?
Yeah. But they did that the year after I graduated.
It's a great show. It's super wild.
Talking about food, talking about stuff that, we're used to. I mean, we're surrounded by food a lot, me and you.
Oh, we are.
I think this is a time to give a shout out. You know what? I don't even need to kiss ass. I always told myself, and especially if my boss sees it, shout out Brad. Brad, I love you. I know I'm weird as hell, but dude, I have a love and passion. Like I'm not even playing. Everything I get into or everything I try to get into, I get into like 110%, right?
That's awesome.
I know I'm kind of weird. I know sometimes I'm kind of a creep, but I love Delmonico's in New Jersey, bro.
Yeah.
Best steakhouse I've ever been to. It's like one of, I think, 2 steakhouses I've ever been to in my life. But still, I fuck with the heavy, bro. I love the job.
It's a good place.
Yeah, the people there are freaking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's your side gig to like, what you do, like, to support your acting.
It's how it's how I'm surviving.
Yeah, bro. Everybody talks about like the hungry, like waiter.
The starving artist. The side hustle.
How'd you get started at Delmonico's?
At Delmonico, I started in August of 2020, like late August, and my friend, one of my best friends, Peter, had worked there. Him and his brother, amongst many other people that I know, worked there. And they, Pete just talked to Brad. I think they were looking for people at one point last summer. And I was trying to leave my other job. It was another restaurant in Totowa, just mainly because after a while, I don't like staying in one spot for too long, especially in a restaurant. I've noticed.
I hope Brad's not listening.
Yeah, Brad, I quit. I'm leaving tomorrow. Can you imagine? No, but like, I mean, I don't know. I see some people, they like stay like, and talking specifically about restaurants.
Word.
They stay at a place for like years and years, and I just don't think I could do that, especially with what I'm trying to do. Like, if I ever have to move, yeah, I'll maybe have another restaurant job, but it won't be the one that I have currently.
Yo, word. Waiter life's crazy. Waiter life is definitely crazy. And even hearing somebody who's been a career waiter, you know what I mean? Because we have like a career waiter at our job. Love him. I'm not gonna drop his name, but I love you. You know who you are.
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah. The only tall person there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, waiter life is crazy. Never thought I'd be a waiter. I actually went to Delmonico's to try to become a bartender, but like I have no bartending experience.
Sure.
So I was gonna go to bartending school, and I was like, and then I think, not that Bobby tricked me or whatever, but like Bobby was like, yo, you go here, they're gonna teach you how to be a bartender straight up. And I was like, damn, I don't gotta pay for school. That's lit. And then they're like, you're gonna have to work your way up, fella. And I was like, word, I'll work my way up for like a month. 3 months into the job. 3 months into the job now. No, but I love it, dude. It's crazy. Learning about steaks, learning about wines.
Yeah.
And it's also cool, like, it's not for nothing. Seeing the higher clientele, you know, like this is no Applebee's. You know what I mean? Like you're seeing people here who like are pretty dope. And it's cool because Delmonico's is a really chill place that it's not like upscale to the point where you would have to come in a suit and tie every time.
Yeah.
But it's not downscale to the point where you would see like some ratchet shit going on.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember during the summer, I think this was my third shift in, dude, the director of Venom came in.
Yeah.
Right? I forget.
Or I think that was more recently, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Or I mean, I guess it was kind of a little bit ago.
Yeah, because I came during summer.
It was in September.
No, September. Yes, I came in September. The first week of September is like the first week I started working there, and I think it was like the third weekend.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember it being September because I wasn't there that night, and I typically work Wednesday night, but I was at a concert. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, bro. Could have.
I could have networked.
Yeah, network that, bro.
Yeah, you make it a Venom 3.
Bro, I mean, like, I was about to hit him up too, but I didn't want to be. I actually didn't care too much, but he was really nice. He was really nice, actually. I remember while I was serving him, he was just like, oh, Luis this, Luis that. And he was really thirsty, though. I mean, they were outside, but he was really thirsty. I brought him his own jug and whatever, and I was like, here you go, you thirsty man.
Thirsty lad.
He left a good tip, too, so shout out them. But yeah, man, I mean, and just the restaurant environment in general, too, which actually what I didn't know, and that I guess is a restaurant standard, is that if you work like the morning shift or the lunch shift, they cook for you, right?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's easily my favorite part about working a lunch shift.
Bro, shout out to the whole kitchen staff there, bro, because they are the greatest. Like, I've been absolutely blessed to like meet some fantastic people in my life and like actually enjoy what I do. Not like some other jobs I've worked at.
Yeah.
Not really just like one other job I worked at. I've talked a lot about shit about the last job I worked at. But nah, man, Delmonico's really feels like a small little cute little family.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're all kind of weird, but I mean, like, you know, like we do our thing.
Everyone's
bro.
quirky.
Yeah, everybody's quirky. And bro,
the kitchen's hilarious,
the
dude.
kitchen, and they're passionate about what they do. I like that, bro. They take their food mad seriously.
Yeah.
Like when I come back and if I'm like, yo, this person. Well, actually, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. The people who come in, right? Some people are just like dealing with people and serving people. I think is the most underrated, unappreciated thing in the world.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's why I didn't want to be a server because I knew I would have to put up with shit, you know. And it's different in other jobs because I used to be a manager for Cinnabon, and I used to work at this ice cream shop. So if everybody's like, "Yo, my Cinnabon, my ice cream cone, like tastes like dick," you know, like I would just be like,
yeah, I think we talked about this. You can easily,
you could just like, you know, put like, you know,
salvage the situation.
Yeah, you know, it's like it's whatever. It's just like, oh really? Oh god, I don't know what dick tastes like, but you know, here's like another Cinnabon. Here's another freaking like, you know, this that, and they're like, oh my god, thank you. This tastes so much better when nothing changes.
Yeah,
right?
literally, it's the same recipe.
At the restaurant, it's just like, you know, since we're higher end and I guess our stuff is more expensive, like you can't be sending shit back the whole time unless literally like the kitchen like fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Which is a rare occasion. But it does happen. You know, we're all human. it's like weird trying to deal with it, you know, because I can't just be like, yo, I'm gonna comp your meal.
Yeah.
Or hey, this shit's free. Because some people out there, they just like, they're looking for that, you know what I mean? There's definitely people who came into Delmonico's who like, you know, they'd be like, oh, this girl's here every week. She always complains, whatever. And it's like, yo, come on. Like, don't do that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But then there's also really interesting people who come in there too. And then the regulars, oh, I love all of our regulars.
Yeah.
Bro. Our regulars are all pretty lit, bro.
Shout out to the homies.
Shout out to the homies, dude. I don't even know if they're gonna be watching this part of the podcast. I'm telling Brad about this part of the podcast. I'm like, yo, skip to minute this. We talking about you. We talk about the restaurant. We doing all this. And honestly, if I get fired, I get fired.
Why not? There's other restaurants in the world.
But I really love the place. Like, you know, and everything they do so far. Their freaking rock shrimp tempura. Oh,
I can't eat. I'm allergic to shrimp, actually.
You're allergic to shrimp?
Yeah. Only thing I'm allergic to. I was allergic to lobster, crab, and shrimp, but I got retested, and now for some reason I'm only mildly allergic to shrimp.
The government doesn't want you to have fun, bro.
Yeah.
Just eat it.
The government wants me dead.
Just meditate or go to like a shrink or whatever. I don't know what they call it. Go to like a witch doctor, bro, and she'll get rid of that shit. Promise
She'll exercise
it'll be
my
the
body.
best $20 you've ever spent in your life, bro. Best $20. You get out, you're not allergic to shrimp anymore. You be chilling, bro.
Oh, sign me up.
Chilling. You know what's weird? Can you recall the weirdest request you've had as a waiter? Even the most annoying experience, either something weird or just something mad annoying.
I can think of something that's mad annoying immediately. I had one lady. I recognized the lady, didn't recognize the husband, but it was a couple. Mm-hmm. And they came in, and I feel like she was just known to be like annoying and problematic. But her like husband like went to the bathroom. I don't even know if they were sitting yet. And she walks up to me as she walks in the door and was like, I need a Caesar salad. I need a small Caesar salad. Mm. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, do you want to fucking sit down first? Like, and then she goes to the bathroom. I hit up her husband, who's just as equally annoying, but didn't know this because I had never seen him before. And he sits down and he's like, I want a beer. I list off like the bottle beers that we have, the tap beers that we have. He makes me repeat some of the tap beers, and then he's just like, yeah, I'll have a Bud Light.
What a dick, dude.
Like,
what a dick, bro.
Like, I don't mind repeating stuff. That's fine. But like, he wanted me, he said he couldn't hear me with my mask on, but this was like also still like, I don't remember when exactly it was. Mm. But at one point, he was just annoying me so much, I just like pulled it down and I was like, we have this. Because like, I don't know, he seemed fine with it. So I was like, okay, if you can't hear me, I will try to help you a little bit with that shit.
Word, yeah, that's not annoying. I didn't experience restaurant life with like masks and shit like ever. I think when I started getting there, like it was all just chill. I mean,
yeah,
well vaccinated. So, I mean, I don't know. Not to get political or anything. I don't really give a shit. You know, I'm vaccinated, so I don't care.
Yeah, same.
But you know what's wild? I think some of the most annoying stuff I've had to deal with as a waiter is, well, actually, one of the annoyingest days I had was actually the other day. A group of two, this girl and this guy came in. They sat down, very nice. They spent some bread. They gave me a good tip, and then they're like, "Hey, we're having some of our friends come here. We're gonna pay for our check, so our check is not together with theirs."
Was this the group of?
Yeah, you came in, right?
Yeah,
bro. They had the weirdest freaking order, dude. I get there and they're like, "Yo, separate checks," and I was like, "Okay," but like I opened 2 tabs already, so then I had 2 tabs open, and then I had a check, and then they wanted all the items on it separated, right? And then it wasn't even a group of 5; it was a group of 6. And the order, I remember the order: 3 Heinekens, 3 mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes, 1 regular mashed potato, 1 Parmesan mashed potato, and 1 garlic and butter mashed potato, right? And then that was basically it. And then I think the guy had like a glass of wine or something, right? That's all they had. They sat there for hours, bro. And I was just like, I thought they were gonna tip well, bro. And I guess like, you know, I always look at the percentages, and I think I get like, I guess I'm a little spoiled. I'm a little spoiled because like none of the checks really come out less than 100, like rarely, you know what I mean? Unless they're like, if some people even like dog wine, and it's just like, it is what it is. Right? it'll come out to 90, and so like 20% on a 90 is like around like almost $20 or like a little bit less, right?
Sure.
Bro, people's bills be coming out to like $8 and they leave like $1.
Yeah,
and
it's like, and they sat there for like 3 hours.
Weird. And it's like, like if those are my tables and I'm taking them, I think the good thing is that like we kind of pool all our stuff together. I mean, I guess it kind of helps, but like I feel bad too because like sometimes like everybody else is hustling, bro, and I'm just like, I want to hustle too, but I'm only dealing with these small ass, tables. Except when I deal with outside, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm there, I'm the guy to go outside, rain, shine, whatever, bro.
Sure.
But yeah, bro, Delmonico's, huh?
Yeah, it's a it's an interesting place.
Fucking journey, bro. And it's actually how we actually kind of got back together. Funny enough, before this, I mean, not to bring up Oz again, right?
Sure.
But before Delmonico's, we didn't even speak that much. I actually think we unfollowed each other off of Instagram at some point.
Did we?
I don't know, because we weren't following each other by the time I got to Delmonico's or something like that. I don't know, but like this shit happens, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't care,
I mean,
bro.
I feel like I wouldn't have unfollowed.
I would have
Maybe-
unfollowed you too.
Yeah.
Somebody
Are we about
did
to?
Somebody did it. Somebody did.
Yeah.
It doesn't freaking matter. Dude.
Yeah.
Life is life. But I'm so happy. Like I'm so genuinely happy that we're back here. We're chilling. We get to
Grinding.
do a podcast. Can you tell me actually? I don't know if you could. So now you're actually into your career. You actually have an agent, right? You have
I'm a manager,
You're a manager.
and I'm freelancing with an agent. Yes.
So tell me a little bit of this. Are you allowed to tell me any of the stuff that you're doing right now, or is it like low key?
Like just like what I'm doing,
Like what you've booked recently? Because I remember you said, I mean, yeah, he posted up on Instagram. You could talk about it, right?
Yeah. I won't get into details about like what I can. I mean, it's also the thing that I did book is like it's the synopsis is out there. We know what's happened. I won't get into like spoilers and stuff. Obviously, I mean, it's a very small part, but still exciting. Yeah. So recently, I got the opportunity to actually had the costume fitting for it today.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
But it was I'm going to be doing a small co-star role. Co-star meaning like it's like usually like under 5 lines or maybe no lines at all, but you're sort of like featured in the scene. But I'm going to be in a scene of a new Showtime show called 3 Women. That follows like it chronicles like the stories of 3 women and their relationships / sex lives over the course of a certain amount of years. And yeah, it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like a really exciting, like nice start to being on like a professional set. Never been on like a professional set before. I've mostly done like, if I have done film, it's been like a student film at school or, yeah, it's been mostly student films.
How was the
class
costume
stuff?
How was the costume fitting like?
The costume fitting was super cool. The costume department, the people that I met that work in there, are super, super nice.
Where is that?
I had to go to a studio in New York.
That's sick, dude.
It's mad early today, mad early.
Like how early?
Well, it was the fitting was at 10, but I had to get. They take the COVID very seriously, so you have to get a test. I had to get a test at 8:45. Wait an hour to make sure that it cleared, that I was negative, and then I could go up to my costume fitting.
Word. I mean, that's dope that they taking a master. I know New York is like tough with that shit. You can't get into any.
No, you gotta have the card or proof that you have a card and ID and whatnot. But yeah, the costume fitting was cool. The wardrobe they had me in was like a straight up vibe. I fucked with it a lot. Yeah, it was really cool. And it's like, I mean, it's gonna be one scene, so it's gonna be like probably one set. But they had me trying on a couple of different combinations of clothing to see which one works best. And they took a bunch of pictures. I'm assuming they'll send that to their higher ups. See, what they like the best.
So as a freelance, like what are your goals and aspirations now? Like what's the next step for you? What's the next step where you're just like, fuck yeah, like I'm doing what I want to do right now?
I mean, the next step is just to like, I don't know, hopefully keep I've been lucky enough to be. I've been getting a bunch of auditions from my team recently. From musicals to short films to co-star roles on. Got some Netflix stuff back in the a couple months ago as well. And yeah, it's hard to say what the next step is because it's like I think. Mainly, I just want to keep maybe getting some of this smaller stuff to build up some like credit and whatnot.
Build up some
meet some people, network, and then just like sort of hopefully maybe it'll blossom into something more at some point. I mean, just try to grasp it at any opportunity I can find. If I could travel too, that would be really sick. I'd love to. Travel around, like doing like a tour of some kind would be really cool.
Yeah, bro.
Traveling the world. I mean, I love just like going to different countries and stuff too. So that'd be really cool. And just like starting off small. Hopefully, work my way up to some to a point where I can be not famous, but have a stable. Find myself with a stable living.
I get it, dude. I get it. It's a long journey, bro, but we here at the beginning. This podcast is going to be a memory you get to look at forever.
Yeah.
Dude, we are nearing the end of our podcast, but usually while the music is playing out and while we're kind of just like, saying goodbyes and everything, I usually ask a question. Well, actually, first, let the people know where they can find you. Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Facebook, I would just be Chris Bailey, I believe. Instagram. Wait, let me double check.
Yeah, bro. Double check your Instagram, bro. We chilling, bro.
I believe Instagram is gonna be Chris B, spelled CHRISB 1129, and then I believe. Twitter is Bailboy29.
Hell yeah.
BAILBOY 29. And I think that's the main social media that I use.
And you got a website too, right?
I do, but it needs work, so I wouldn't give that out to people at the moment.
Bro. All right, that's cool. And you already know me, guys. BETO. You can find me at BETO_music. On Instagram, you can find Ayo Chill Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all already know the vibes. And as the music is playing out and everything, I usually ask everybody sitting down one question. And I was kind of just BSing all of that while I got thinking something right now. But actually, I want you to imagine, right? You're in your senior year again.
Okay.
I'm a freshman. I have aspirations to do everything you're doing. I'm looking up to you and I'm just like, damn, this fine ass looking man, bro. I'm like, and I ask you, hey, I want to be an actor. I want to do what you do. What should I be doing to get to where you are?
I think I would say that there is a lot of you will face a lot of rejection within this industry. All actors do, and performers, musicians. It's just like the name of the game. But there's also a lot of joy and excitement those exciting butterflies that you get before going out on stage that I think you should remember and hold on to because that's what will keep propelling you forward. And to just like keep at it. Like it's not everyone's journey is going to be different. Don't try to replicate someone else's. People will say that you have to do certain things in order to, make it or whatever, but like do what is best for you. And if you're doing what's best for you, you'll be the pursuit of just even trying will be, I think, thrilling and worth it in the end.
Fucking bad. Chris Bailey, thank you so much. We fucking out here, bro.
Holy shit.
That went so quick, dude.
Yeah, that was really, really fun.
That shit was like...
Sorry, I fucking randomly started coughing.
Nah, bro. You chilling, bro.